Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Tommy Maroon Sports Show. Another good episode is for all you folks watching. It's going to start right here, all on WCTV. And it's not going to start until, once again, my trivia question of the week. And here it is. Now, who was on the cover of Madden 07? Because if you remember last week, I tapped on Madden a lot. But I'm talking about Madden 07. Who was on the cover? And the correct answer that is Sean Alexander, one of the greatest running backs in the history of the Seattle Seahawks. That was for 2006 season, the year before. He won MVP, helped Seattle make the Super Bowl. He pretty much carried that team on his back. He did a great job, may I say. And of course, as I mentioned earlier, he is definitely one of the greatest running backs Seattle has ever had, up there with Marshawn Lynch. So now it's time to look at some free agency moves in the NBA and big trades. So much stuff happened in the NBA. I couldn't even get my head around it. I don't even know if some of this stuff has happened or not. So much. But I'm going to sort of go through it. It's all going to start with my big free agency moves. And here's the first one. Two big players. Kyrie right there. Remember that guy? Remember Mr. Ball Hog? And DeAndre Jordan, who Jordan was a Laker and Kyrie was a Celtic. Only now they're going to Brooklyn to become Nets. Of course, Kyrie has angered Cleveland. Now I guess he has angered Boston as well. Definitely been run out of there, or he just wants to win a championship. He wants to be a superstar, but you know what? When you got DeAndre Jordan, one more person who I'm going to talk about soon, guess he's going to be the odd man out. And when he was a superstar in Boston, he couldn't get that ring. Once again, Kyrie does not know the old saying, there's no I in team. And of course, Kawhi Leonard, who was formerly with the Raptors, had a great season there last year. He is going to Los Angeles. And Patrick Beverley is also going to re-sign with LA. Of course, this is a huge move for the Clippers. And of course, Kawhi's won 2 NBA Finals. One with the Spurs, and then this one with the Raptors, Canada's very first NBA championship, and the first time they've won anything out of the 4 big sports since 1993 with the Toronto Blue Jays. And Jonas Valanciunas is going to re-sign with the Memphis Grizzlies. Of course, the Big Seven's former Raptor missed out on the World Championship. Maybe he can do something with Memphis. And Trevor Ariza, formerly with the Washington Wizards, is now going to Sacramento. That's right, he is a King now. Of course, the Kings haven't seen that much success, haven't won in a long time. And there's some Trevor Ariza highlights right there. Time to move on, as Kristaps Porzingis is going to re-sign with Dallas. And Seth Curry, not Steph, but his brother Seth, he is going to rejoin Dallas. He is back there. And of course, I look at some big trades. Probably some huge trades, may I say, because everybody is going everywhere. Try to get your head around it, folks. Because Russell Westbrook, the man who has averaged a triple-double quite a few times, is now been traded to Houston, where the, not the Clippers, but the Thunder will get Chris Paul and 2024 and 2026 first-round picks. And Paul George, who was also with the Thunder, he is going to Los Angeles, the Clippers again. And the Thunder are going to get Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Danilo Gallinari, and 2022, 24, and 26 first-round picks. And another big move, Kevin Durant, formerly a Warrior, is going to Brooklyn for D'Angelo Russell, Shabazz Napier, and Tavion Graham. And, of course, KD will miss the entire season because, well, if you see that injury right there, that might be one of the biggest injuries basketball has seen in quite a long time. He went down hard, and it really hurt. That was Game 5. Though the Warriors won that game, they did not win that series. Yeah, he's going to be out all next season. That might be a huge injury. And we'll see if he can be the same. because those injuries are really hard to come back from. Andre Iguodala, speaking of the Warriors, he is now going to Memphis for Julian Washburn. And Anthony Davis, formerly with the Pelicans, there he is right there, he's going to Los Angeles, and the Pelicans are going to get Lonzo Ball, Brandon Ingram, and Josh Hart, and a part of a three-way trade. Washington's going to get Isaac Bonga, Jamirio Jones, and Mo Wagner, who are all with the Lakers. So, holy cow, that's quite a ton of players, may I say. Jimmy Butler, who was with the Philadelphia 76ers, is now going to Miami for Josh Richardson, while Myers Leonard, who was with the Portland Trailblazers once upon a time, is also going to Miami. Portland also receives Hassan Whiteside, who was with the Heat once upon a time, and the Clippers got Maurice Harkless and 2023 first-round pick, both from Miami. 2023 first-round pick, may I say, is from Miami. So now, if we can look at all 30 teams up there, we're going to highlight what teams were the winners and what teams were the losers. And for me, the winners, the two biggest winners were the Nets and the Clippers. Of course, the Clippers have forever been living in the shadow of the Lakers. This might be the time in which they can get out of that shadow and get something going. That would be huge for them. And, of course, the Nets, the Brooklyn Nets, in a big market in New York, they can get something going as well. Grizzlies are also winners as well. And some losers, the Warriors for losing KD and Iguodala, the Lakers for pretty much selling the entire team, and the Raptors for losing Kawhi Leonard, and the two teams that really didn't make a splash, of course, us, the Cavs, who really didn't make anything happen, and the Knicks. But, of course, the Cavs' main goal isn't really to dive in. It's just to wait a few years, really get those big first-round picks going. And you know what? Trust the process. If it worked for Philly, if it worked for the Houston Astros, if it worked for the Cleveland Browns, it's sure to work for the Cavs. Hopefully it can. Now it's time to look at the Cleveland Indians. Yes, we're transitioning to Cleveland Indians. We're going to look at some odd hitters within the last 7 games. Yasiel Puig has been one of them. Of course, that ain't Yasiel. That's Carlos Santana. But Carlos has been batting .379, 11 hits, 11 runs scored, and 3 homers. Has homered in his last 3 games, one of them being a walk-off against Boston and grand slam against Minnesota. There's Yasiel. He's got .375 average, 9 hits, 2 doubles, and 4 ribbies. And Jose Ramirez. Do I have to say it again? The man has been all hot lately. .323 average, 10 hits, 2 doubles, 3 homers, and 10 ribbies. And, of course, Greg the Bunny, quite an underrated player, .308 average, 8 hits, and 1 homer. Now time to go with some touching stuff. Carlos Carrasco. We all know about how he was diagnosed with leukemia. He is on the 60-day injured list. He has been starting to throw bullpen sessions, and now he has been out on the mound practicing pitching, and he is going to meet some minor league batters Friday. Yes, that is going to be incredible, the comeback story. Worked on a throwing program before bullpen sessions, and the bullpen sessions is before he's going to face real hitters and field ground balls, which he has been doing. And just to show how incredible this is, we were 31-30 before Carrasco told us about his diagnosis, and 9.5 back from Minnesota. And ever since, we have gone on a tear, winning over 40 games and losing less than 20. And heading into today, we're only half a game back of the Twins. And the Twins are sadly beating the Brewers right now, and we are losing to Boston. So that means we'd be 1.5 games back. Oh, hello, Jason Kipnis. How are you? He has been doing really good lately. Time to look at my series recaps. Indians and Twins. Indians won the series 3-1. Tied for first now. Brad Hand got Eddie Rosario fly out to end the game on the 8th, the first game. Puig and Ramirez had 3 hits each for the next day. And big Carlos Santana hit a monster grand slam on Sunday. The score was 3-3 heading into the 10th. We got the bases loaded, and then a 2-1 pitch. Carlos cranked one to left center. Carlos Santana with a grand slam. Do I have to remind you, Carlos Santana's been red hot lately all season long, may I say. Indians and Red Sox. Well, paying into today has been the rubber match of the series. We won game 1, and we temporarily had first place when Carlos Santana hit a huge walk-off home run in the bottom of the 9th inning, once again allowing Brad Hand's blown save to be water underneath the bridge. Of course, that was the second day Hand blew his save, and the second day that Santana hit a big home run to save Brad Hand. And yes, he has homered in his last 3 games, and if he can homer today, he'll make it 4. But last time I checked, we're down 5-1 against those darn Red Sox. Red Sox have been pretty poor as of late. Very frustrating to be a Red Sox fan. They have lost more games this season so far in early August than what they did all last season, which is crazy to think. And again, they lost only 54 games last season, 57 if you include the postseason. The 2018 Red Sox team, one of the greatest of all time, yes sir. But anyways, Rafael Devers and Alexander Bogaerts had back-to-back homers in the 3rd, I believe. And then Bogaerts hit a big 3-run shot. And it's been a 5-1 score in favor of those Bo Sox. Now time to look at the Pro Football Hall of Fame enshrinement. It opened in 1963, located in nearby Stark County in Canton, Ohio. It's in Canton because that's where the NFL started. Canton was a big football city in the 20s with the Canton Bulldogs and Jim Thorpe. And the city of Canton had a big campaign. There have been many renovations over its history, and especially the last few years. And it was originally a 2-building complex. And of course, that Hall of Fame went from something really tight to something really huge. It's hard to imagine that the old complex was it, just 2 buildings. Now it's pretty much everything. And of course, there was a Hall of Fame game at Tom Benson Stadium, named after the late Saints owner Tom Benson. It was a rematch of Super Bowl 33, in which Denver won 34-19. Denver-Atlanta was the game. And Denver won this game by a score of 14-10. And for Denver, Brett Ripien went 5 for 10, 41 yards, and 1 touchdown, while Khalfani Muhammad had 7 attempts, 50 rushing yards, and 1 TD. And Kurt Benkert, fun name to say, am I right? 19 for 34, 185 yards, 1 touchdown, and Brian Hill had 11 attempts, 57 yards, and 5.2 yards per carry. And if you have a yards per carry over 5, that's pretty good, because that'll take you 2 plays to get the first down. Usually it takes you 3, maybe 4. And of course, 2 days later came the class of 2019. Boy, was it a star-studded one for defense indeed. We had Champ Bailey, who was with Washington from 1999-2003, famously with Denver from 2004 to 2013. 52 picks, 4 defensive touchdowns, 908 tackles, and 812 of them have been solo. And Pat Bowlen, owner of the Broncos from 1984 until his death a little while ago, 7 Super Bowl appearances, 3 Super Bowls, 18 postseason appearances, 333, 225, and 1 record. So yes, Pat Bowlen did a good job with the Broncos. And there was also Gil Brandt, front office for the Cowboys from 1960 to 1988, until Jerry Jones was like, the way, I got this, which he sort of has and sort of hasn't. Definitely has been a love him or hate him figure. But Jerry Jones is already in Hall of Fame. Now it's Gil Brandt's turn. 5 Super Bowl appearances during Brandt's tenure, 2 Super Bowl victories, 18 postseason appearances, 249, 162, and 6 record. And remember, this was for a team that went winless in year 1, 1960. There was also Tony Gonzalez. Yes, that guy who would slam dunk, representing the fact that he did college basketball, I believe. He was with Kansas City from 1997, 2008, and Atlanta from 2009, 2013. And there's Ty Law, one of the best defenders to ever do it. He has been really incredible. Was with New England from 1995 to 2004. The Jets from 2005 and 2008. Kansas City 2006 and 7. Denver 2009, 53 picks, 7 defensive touchdowns, 838 tackles, and 707 solo tackles. There was also Kevin Mulway with Seattle from 1994-97, New York from 1998-2005, and Tennessee from 2006 to 2009. And he played center during his career. And speaking of defense, Big Ed Reed. That's right. Last year, Ray Lewis got inducted for the Ravens. Now it's Ed Reed's turn. Played with Baltimore from 2002 to 2012 and Houston, New York, each in 2013. Heavy hitter. Yeah, look at all those hits. Bam. 64 picks, 7 defensive touchdowns, 643 tackles, and 531 solo tackles. There was also Johnny Robinson, who was with the Dallas Texans / Kansas City Chiefs 1960-1971. 57 picks, 741 INT yards, and 6 fumble recoveries. So, yeah, we saw quite a ton of defensive players get inducted this year. So, yes, that will do it this week. A lot of stuff to talk about next week, which include the Cleveland Browns, Cleveland Indians, and why not look at high school football? It's really huge. I know you guys are into your Wadsworth Grizzlies, so am I. Of course, time to ask my trivia question of the week, as usual. What college has the most Pro Football Hall of Famers? That's right. What college boasts the most Pro Football Hall of Famers? You got your answer? Well, wait next week and find out. So, watch the Tommy Maroon Sports Show next week. That's all. See you then.